Welcome back to Crib Talk. I'm Connor, and I'm joined with
Caleb,
Melkam.
Moussa.
and we're a group of friends that live together who talk about the game of basketball.
And for those of you who don't know, the trade deadline was today. The NBA was shaking up a lot, and a lot of things changed. Some teams made big moves. Some teams make smaller moves. We're going to kick it off with the Mavericks. They received Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris, while they gave up to the Nets Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, 2 second-round picks, and a first. Guys, what do you think about this package?
This is just huge. This is huge. The Mavs, they've been bouncing around, got up to the 4 seed, down to even the 7 seed, but they finally bought in. They gave up some of their draft capital. They gave up Spencer and Dorian, and they went and got Kyrie. This is league breaking. They're gonna have a deep playoff run, I'm assuming, if they can keep Kyrie and Luka healthy. That's gonna be a fun team to watch.
Yeah, I think what the Mavericks, they were definitely needing. Everyone was talking about how the Mavericks, they needed that second guy. And they got it this deal. You know, it might seem like they gave up a little bit for Kyrie, who has a lot of things around him. And it's only for offseason, might be a buyout. But I think the Mavericks, they just had to do whatever to get a guy by Luka and hope it works.
Yeah, Luka was getting, literally no help whatsoever, putting up historical numbers in losses. So I think this was a big move for them.
Yeah. I think that the Mavs, they got a guy that could really just help take the load off of Luka. They did have to give up a lot in Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith. Kind of gets rid of some of the defense and the presence that they had. Yeah. That could have gone long way in the playoffs. But I think Kyrie to the Mavs, that's just what they needed.
Bro, originally I thought that this wasn't actually going to improve their team because their defense was not going to be that great. But after watching that game just yesterday and watching how Kyrie Irving just works with their offense, I feel like him and Luka are just going to work together so well, and I don't think it's actually going to be as big of a factor as a lot of people think.
Yeah, and yesterday the Kyrie played for the first time with the Mavs, and they ended up beating the Clippers, a fully healthy Clippers.
Yeah, that's
and
scary.
They were playing well. Josh Green is definitely taking a step up with Dorian Finney-Smith gone. He's shooting well, good efficiency. Christian Wood, I think he's going to be a big piece. And then with this trade, I think the Mavericks, I think they're getting up to that tier. I don't know with that Kevin Durant trade if they're in the same tier as them, but they're up there for sure in the Western Conference. Yeah. All right. Next trade, we're going to talk about a 3-team trade with the Jazz, Timberwolves, and Lakers. The Jazz getting Russell Westbrook, Damian Jones, Juan Toscano Anderson, and the Lakers first. Timberwolves get Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and 3 second-round picks, and the Lakers get D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, and Malik Beasley. I don't know. Connor, what do you think about this?
So for me, it just doesn't really make sense for the Timberwolves, in my opinion. They gave up just a shining D'Angelo Russell in this season. He was putting up crazy shooting splits after a slow start to the season. He was an all-star, and he was kind of showing why this season. And they traded him away for Mike Conley, who is 35 years old, on not that great of a contract. He's put up 10 points and only a couple assists more than D'Angelo Russell. I guess they really didn't want to pay D'Lo. That's why they probably traded him, and they want that experience of Mike Conley. But I just don't see how they have a future in contention in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, they just recently obviously got a new GM, and it already seems like he has made 2 moves that have backfired completely. I think on the Lakers end with I don't know how Rob Pelinka pulled this off. This trade looks amazing for the Lakers. Obviously, as a Blazers fan, I was hoping we would get Jared, and I felt like he got Jared for much less than a lot of other teams could have offered. And so I think that this is actually a big move to get LeBron some help on the Lakers.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if D'Angelo Russell plays well coming back to the Lakers, but I think him, Malik, and Jared are all just crazy talented, and that's what the Lakers have been looking for all season. They've been bouncing around that play-in spot, but they could actually make a push for a 6 seed, not have to play in a play-in game, and could make a run in the playoffs. It's going to be interesting to see if AD can stay healthy and keep playing well, but we all know LeBron's going to play well the rest of the season. So
Yeah, I think for the Lakers, this is actually the deal, exactly what they wanted.
Yeah.
They got their point guard with D'Angelo Russell, he's very efficient this year. He's averaging 39% from 3. Malik Beasley, we know he's a shooter. He's a great shooter. And Jared Vanderbilt, he's just a high-energy guy. He does the hustle plays, and I think that's what the Lakers need. They need some energy. And with this trade, they're definitely got some depth, and I think this is I don't know. I think they could be contending for. I don't know if it could be for a championship this year, but they have two superstar players, and they got all these role players now. So I don't know. I think the Lakers, they could definitely start winning a ton of games.
Yeah, the Lakers, they obviously missed out on the Kyrie sweepstakes. They offered their 2 firsts to try to get him, but it didn't work out. And they got like a crazy package for only one of their firsts, and it's top 4 protected. And the fact that they were able to get 3 role players just to put it around the Lakers, like they got 3 starters pretty much in the trade. Like D'Lo, he's a high-end starter. Malik Beasley, also like a mid-tier starter. Like the volume of those 2 and their 3-point shooting is just gonna unlock the Lakers, in my opinion. And Jared Vanderbilt, like the energy, what you said, Caleb, and like he's just a glue guy. Like that's what they need. And that front court presence just to alleviate like some of what Anthony Davis does. I think that's huge for them.
Yeah, I think their backcourt, they're starting Dennis Schroeder and Patrick Beverly, and now they're going from D'Angelo Russell to Malik Beasley. And I think that's just going to change it totally because you want to surround LeBron with shooters. And now they're doing that. So I think the Lakers, their season could look so much different now that they've got these players.
Yeah.
All right. Next trade, we got Lakers. They get Mo Bamba, and the Magic get Patrick Beverly. Yeah. What do you think, Connor?
Well, obviously they didn't really need Patrick Beverly now that they got D'Lo and Malik Beasley. And Patrick Beverly, he did bring that defense. He was a really great defender this year, as he has been his pretty much entire career. So that's kind of a question mark. Like, I don't really understand why they couldn't have kept him and traded like another guy. But adding Mo Bamba is just huge for them because they got rid of Thomas Bryant at the deadline. But Mo Bamba, he fills that role as a center, and when you're not having AD at the center, which is really good, he's shown that he can be a solid player in this league. He can shoot a little bit, and he's a good defender. So I think it was just an overall win for the Lakers.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I think the Lakers the past couple years have struggled so much with actually stretching the floor around LeBron, and they got rid of Russ and then Pat Bev for 2 guards that can stretch the floor. And then they were too deep in their guard room, obviously, so they replaced Thomas Bryant with Mo Bamba. But I think that this move was definitely important because they're replacing their guards that originally didn't shoot with well or good splits with guards that could actually stretch the floor. And I think this is going to unlock Bron and AD both the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's interesting to see because Thomas Bryant, the last few games, he's been really upset with his role once AD's come back. So I think it was just a matter of time before he left, and him going to the Nuggets. This was actually a 4-team trade. Lakers got Mo Bamba and Devon Reed. Nuggets got Thomas Bryant, which is going to be good to have some backup to Jokic, of course, even though he's probably not going to miss much time or many minutes because he's the MVP. But Pat Beverly, he was just not doing as much as Mo Bamba's going to do on this team. So this was definitely a great trade for the Lakers.
Yeah, if Thomas Bryant was mad like about his role, he's kind of going to be mad that he's behind one of the best centers in the league in Jokic. He's not really going to play that much. But his minutes are going to be very impactful because they need some guy to fill that spot when Jokic is not on the floor.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why the Magic would do this deal. I don't know. Was it to get rid of Mo Bamba? They don't want to pay him? Or?
Yeah, they don't want to pay him, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's overall a good trade for the Lakers for sure. They get their backup big. He's going to play well. Yeah, great deal for the Lakers. Next trade, we got Josh Hart going to the Knicks from the Blazers. And the Blazers get Cam Reddish, a 2023 first-round pick, lottery protected. Yeah, Malcolm, what do you think?
Listen, watching Josh Hart this year has been a struggle. I'm not even going to lie. Like, the level that he went from last year to this year is actually crazy. His shooting splits have been embarrassing, and he's not the defender that he was supposed to be. I'm not trashing, but he's played pretty much bad this whole year. Like, we have a starting lineup that has averaged almost 100 points the whole year, and we still can't get wins. But the fact is that Josh Hart isn't actually contributing that much at all. He was getting his boards, but getting rid of him, I think, was a big move for the Blazers. I think a lot of the Blazers fan base wanted that to happen. And I think especially getting Cam Reddish, it's more of a project piece, obviously, because he would have a lot more where he needs to develop. But I think getting rid of a player that has not been panned out to the player we need him to be in our role for a player that actually provides us with more potential, if that makes sense, and a first was a big win for the Blazers.
Yeah, I think for the Blazers, this was definitely a good trade to get that pick. And also Cam Reddish, I like it for him as well because he's going to have a little bit more of an opportunity, I'd say, because the Blazers, they don't really have much depth, like at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think Cam Reddish, he's going to get some opportunity off the bench for sure to kind of lead the bench, I think. Yeah, I think it's a good deal. The Knicks, I mean, Josh Hart reuniting with Jalen Brunson. I think this is kind of just to make Jalen Brunson happy. I don't know if the Knicks, this is not going to make them contenders or anything, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what this really does for the Knicks. I'm kind of confused where they're coming from this trade, giving up a first-round pick for Josh Hart, because a lot of good players got shipped away in this deadline, and they went for second-round picks and not a first-round pick.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Blazers for acquiring a first-round pick out of Josh Hart.
How did they get that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I think a little bit of the Knicks might have been a mindset of Josh Hart has underperformed as a Blazer in his current role and might be for hopes that he becomes sort of what he was on the Pelicans and what he was last year on the Blazers.
Yeah, last year in that 13-game stretch, he was
Yeah.
averaging 19 points per game on crazy splits.
Yeah.
And he just fell off. Every single one of his stats decreased this year, besides rebounding, which went up 1.
Yeah, I think they're just hoping to see flashes of that in this trade and taking a chance, the fact that it wasn't him falling off, but necessarily his role wasn't panning out with the Blazers.
All right, next trade. We got the Blazers getting Matisse Thybulle, 76ers getting Jalen McDaniels, and Hornets getting Steve Mikhailiuk and some second-round picks. So, Malcolm, what do you think about the Blazers getting Matisse Thybulle now that they just got Cam Reddish also?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I shared before, the Blazers' offense, especially when it comes to our starters, has been immensely impressive this year. But we're still losing games, and that's because our plus-minus on our bench has been pretty bad. We have so few defensive guys already, so I'm a little confused as why we're targeting a guy that is such a negative on offense. I mean, we already have, Justice Winslow and Trendon Watford guys who can get the job done defensively, but actually isn't performing very well offensively. So I was originally a little bit confused seeing this move, but seeing that we lost Gary Payton and we're trying to make those moves to get, our bench kind of caught up with our starters and actually so we're not having to play catch up when, Dame and Anthony come back in. I do like the ad. Originally, though, I was a little bit confused actually getting Matisse.
Yeah, I think Matisse Thybulle, I think it's a pretty good trade. I think the Blazers, they wanted some defense because they got 3 guys in their starting lineup who are good on offense, Anthony, Dame, and Jeremy Grant. I mean, Malcolm, who do you think is going to start at 3? You think it's going to be Matisse or you think it's going to be Cam Reddish or someone else?
I think it's going to be Matisse just because we already have defensive pieces coming off of our bench and we have offensive pieces that are starting with us. Like you said, we have 3 really good offensive pieces coming, starting the game. But then, we have defensive pieces in Trendon Watford. We have defensive pieces in Justice Winslow, guys who can't really score. So I think he just fits better into our starting lineup than Cam Reddish will. So I think he'll start, or I think at least he should.
Yeah, you think these trades for the Blazers, they put them in that next tier with the Grizzlies and the Nuggets and the Suns, you think?
Chill, bro.
Oh yeah, we'll see the Grizzlies in the play-in. We'll probably we
The play-in, the Grizzlies
Listen,
ain't
man.
gonna be in the play-in,
Yeah, they
bro.
will. Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. Listen,
I don't know what
listen.
you're
We're in that tier. We're in the range with the Grizzlies. I wouldn't put us up with those teams. No,
That's
in all
crazy.
seriousness, obviously we didn't actually move up a tier. We did get slightly better though. I wish we would have made a move for a bigger player or a better player.
Did y'all get better?
But I think we definitely got
Cap.
better.
I think
Y'all
they
lost
got
Gary
better.
Payton, though.
Listen, realistically, Gary Payton was not actually doing
Yeah.
that much for our team. He came in a couple nights ago, got 2 buckets early, and then didn't score the rest of the night. He has been such a negative offensively, other than maybe fast breaks and getting to the lane when we need him to. But he has actually not been that beneficial on the offensive side of our court. And defensively, it's not like he's been locking up the team's best players. Our team actually hasn't really made much of a jump this year defensively when he plays versus when he doesn't play. So I think that role hasn't actually panned out in the way that we thought it was, or a lot of people thought it would.
Yeah, I think getting Cam Reddish is really going to improve this team. He's got a lot of potential. He's still only 23. He was a top 10 pick in the draft. I feel like if you guys can have him be comfortable in Portland, I feel like he can be a really good weapon off your bench or even get into the starting lineup and make some noise.
I just want to see him have a chance. He was not getting minutes on the Knicks.
Exactly.
I feel like he could pan out if he gets more opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Cam Reddish coming out of college, coming out of high school, really. Watching him play at Duke, I thought he was going to be one of them guys in the league, and he hasn't really panned out. Like, his journey with the Hawks and with the Knicks hasn't been the best. His efficiency hasn't looked good, but another change of scenery could be what does it for him, but this might be his last chance to really show, like, what he has and to show, like, he could get a good contract this coming summer.
Yeah, especially because he's going to get that bigger role on the Blazers just because we don't have depth. This is kind of his last chance to actually prove he can do something. Because he wasn't getting minutes on the Knicks, but he's going to get a chance to prove himself here. And if he doesn't pan out here, then I don't really know where he goes from there.
Yeah. Talking about Gary Payton, he just got moved back to the Warriors. And in that trade also, the Hawks get Sadiq Bey, Pistons get James Wiseman, and the Blazers get 5 second-round picks. I mean, what do y'all think about Gary Payton? He's going back to the Warriors now. You think this is a good move for the Warriors?
I mean, I don't really think it's that impactful, but I think he's excited to be back in Golden State. They obviously the thing with Golden State is it takes a little bit to learn the offense and the team, and so bringing him back, having a guy who knows the team well, it's definitely going to be good for the Warriors to have. But they didn't make any of their big trades, so I don't see them. They're not going to take a crazy jump or anything in the West.
I think this is actually, it's a pretty good move for the Warriors because you see how he played last year before Dylan Brooks just, hurt him and just, made this terrible, they broke the code play. But besides the point, the Warriors getting back Gary Payton. He started in the playoffs last year. He was put on jaw, and he was playing good defense. I think Gary Payton, he was playing good defense.
He was clamping that
He
boy up.
dropped 40 on him back-to-back
Clamps, bro.
games. What do you mean?
That's
Good
lucky,
He was
bro.
getting clamped, bro.
Pick and roll merchant.
Exactly. He was getting screened. What are you supposed to do against that, bro? All right.
40's 40.
But besides that, you're talking Gary Payton. He was starting in the playoffs. And I think Gary Payton, he's a guy, he needs to have the right kind of offenses around him. He plays well with stars. He gets the ball. He hands it off. He's a good roll man. He's a great defender. So I think the way he was playing with the Warriors, the box score might have not showed how much his impact was, but I think he was actually a really good player for the Warriors. And I think he can help them get a couple more wins this season for sure.
Yeah, because the Warriors, they were trying to get my boy Alex Caruso off my team, but the Bulls didn't want to make any deals at the deadline. So they kind of got a guy that can fill a similar role with Gary Payton, try to be that stopper, and they got him for a cheaper price. He did well last season, and that's crazy that they got him back. He only spent a few games on the Blazers, and he's right back on the Warriors.
Yeah, I think we were expecting him to take on a bigger role, and that's just not what fits him best. So I think he'll pan out better on the Warriors again than he did with us.
What were the other parts of the trade again?
Pistons get James Wiseman, and the Hawks get Sadiq Bey.
I like the taking a chance on James Wiseman. He could be a good player. He was a number 2 overall pick for a reason. He has potential. I don't know if the Warriors was the best place for a center to really shine because their offense doesn't really revolve around a center offensively, and that's what James Wiseman is, an offensive center. But I don't know how he's going to fit with Jalen Durant on the Pistons. That could go a number of different ways.
Yeah. They have a lot of center. They have Isaiah Stewart, Jalen, and him now. It's going to be weird to see because you'd think going to the Pistons, it'd be for him to get another opportunity, but now he's in a stacked center room, and it's going to be interesting to see if he develops, or even if they put him in the G League. I wouldn't be surprised at that because that's what the Warriors have been doing all year.
Who do you think could or should start in that center room?
I think Jalen Duran right now, but
Yeah,
unless Wiseman takes a step and shows progress in Detroit, it's Jalen Duran. He's been playing very well lately.
He's been a great rookie.
Yeah.
I think the Pistons getting James Wiseman, it's a great deal. I think James Wiseman, he's going to get a good amount of minutes. And Cade Cunningham's injured, so I think he's going to have a good chance to get some opportunities with the ball and get some buckets on the Pistons where he couldn't some other places. So I like the deal for the Pistons. The Hawks getting Sadiq Bey, I think it's a pretty decent trade. They already have some kind of wing guys and Bogdanovich and AJ Griffin. He's been a good rookie this year. I think Sadiq Bey, he's a good guy. I don't think it's going to make him high in the East or anything.
Is he shooting the three well this year? Do you know?
I think it's decent. I think maybe it's like, I think it's a little bit below average, but I don't know. I think it changes scenery playing with Trae Young with a great playmaker. I mean, he's not a guy that I think he needs to get his own shot.
35.
That's true.
He's better playing with guys that help him get a shot.
Yeah, because
Trae Young is a great playmaker.
The Hawks really needed a shooter because they're missing out on that Kevin Herter type guy that they gave away this offseason. And Sadiq Bey, he doesn't really do that. No one can really do what Kevin Herter does besides a couple guys in this league. So, yeah.
I think Sadiq Bey is underrated. As a Grizzlies fan, I always kind of saw him as a trade target, as someone I wanted, because I've seen him drop 40 balls, and he can get hot any night. And Trae Young is one of the best playmakers in the league, and so having a guy like Sadiq Bey to kick out to, who can score 15 a night, it's going to be nice to have, especially with the loss of Kevin Herter. So I think this is a really, really good move for the Hawks. But the East is just still too stacked for this to make that big of a dent in the standings.
For sure. Next trade, we got the Raptors getting Jakob Poeltl and the Spurs getting Khem Birch, a first-round pick and 2 second-round picks. Malcolm, what do you think about this one?
I mean, to be honest with you guys, I was a little bit confused. Personally, I thought the Raptors were going to make more changes at the deadline, or at least I thought that they should, just because of how good the East is now, and they have so many pieces that they could have moved for picks or stuff. So for them to make this smaller move and actually give up some picks to get, a player that obviously Jakob Poeltl has played very well this year, and he plays his role well in the Spurs, and I think he'll pan out well on the Raptors. This doesn't really move them up in the ranks very much in the East. I still don't see them making any noise, and so I'm not really sure why they made this trade or why they didn't make larger trades.
Yeah, I think it is confusing. The Raptors, they gave up their 2024 first-round pick. And that doesn't make much sense to me because that means the direction they're going. They're still trying to play and compete. And everyone was expecting them to kind of make that first step to blowing up or maybe retool. And they got Jakob Poeltl. I don't think that does a lot for them. I mean, they got a center now. Pascal Siakam was playing the center. Now they finally got a real center. They got back Jakob Poeltl. I think maybe they could get a few more games now because they have Jakob Poeltl. He's definitely an underrated big man in this league. Yeah, I'm confused. I think the Spurs, that was a great package they could have got back for Jakob Poeltl. I think the Spurs definitely won this trade.
Yeah, I'd say they won the trade. The Spurs did. But I don't really see, what the Raptors are doing. There's a lot of smoke, rumors before the trade deadline. The Raptors were going to, blow it up, ship away OG, ship away Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent. None of that happened, which is crazy. They now have to pay these guys in the offseason or, sign and trade them. It doesn't really, make sense. They're just going to be stuck in, mid-tier of the Eastern Conference for the foreseeable future. I can't really, see their direction, and it doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, for sure. Next trade, we got a big trade. Suns getting Kevin Durant and T.J. Warren.
Crazy trade.
Wow. Nets get Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jae Crowder, and 4 unprotected first-round picks and a pick swap. So, Connor, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, when I saw the trade, I did not believe it at all. I thought I was dreaming. It's just one of the wildest trades, ever in NBA history.
Probably ever.
Definitely the greatest, trade deadline trade. I don't know if, a bigger package has been traded besides that. But they definitely got a good package for KD. It's a little confusing. They got some older players, mid-tier in their age in the NBA. Both 26-year-olds, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson. But they're good players. 4 first-round picks. It's for Kevin Durant, man. He is one of the best players in the league, one of the best players of all time. He's going to push the Suns over the hump, and they are one of the few legitimate contenders in the league this year.
It is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
They're getting Kevin Durant.
Wild.
They're definitely contenders for the chip this year. Maybe they could be top of the West, them and the Nuggets for sure. And I think a lot of people are talking about how – what? It's funny.
Yeah. I just like that the Grizzlies aren't in the top. That just makes my heart feel so warm.
Same.
I mean, we're still going to be up there. I trust.
Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about how the Suns with this deal, they don't have a lot of depth. But I don't know. I don't think they really see that T.J. Warren, he really could be a good scorer. Like off the bench, he could average like 15 off the bench, 14 off the bench, which that's not a lot, but definitely they have a lot of scoring. I don't think you need a lot of depth when you got KD and Devin Booker and Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton. That big four alone,
Exactly.
Yeah.
that's just they're getting points on the board with that, no matter what. So
in the playoffs, like your rotation shrinks. Like every team is only putting out their best like 7 or 8 guys max in the playoffs. So it's not really going to matter as much as it does in the regular season. It might impact them, like they might not be a high seed and they might have a tougher like path to get to the chip, but this just increases their ceiling exponentially.
Yeah. No, I genuinely see them as one of the top, if not the top team in the West, or like the team to beat in the West. Obviously, I mean, they might be considered kind of top heavy, but I personally think that they will come out of the West just because they have 2 players who are killer scorers and then a defensive guy and a guy that can facilitate the ball throughout. I think this, I mean, obviously they gave up a ton, like largest trade package I've ever seen, but it's for KD. And I think that, I think this actually put them into the realm of, the best, if not top 2 team in the West.
Yeah, they went to the finals 2 years ago, lost the Mavs last year. They have that playoff experience. Chris Paul has been to the playoffs, hasn't won his ring. This could be a chance to finally win a ring. And I think he's going to get a lot of crap if he goes a season with KD and can't win a ring. But just looking at it at a matchup standpoint, just having to match up with Booker and KD with your best players defensively, but then them still having Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton that you also have to worry about giving you buckets, that is terrifying. And as a Grizzlies fan, I'm scared. I can't lie.
you should be.
Yeah.
You should be terrified.
Yeah.
I'm fine in the West though.
Yeah,
I'm fine
You
in the
jinxed
West.
it, bro.
He brought this upon himself. I'm not gonna lie.
He was kidding. I promise. He was
It was
joking.
a joke?
Yeah, it was just joking. Everyone just took it so seriously and decided to trade everyone to the West. It's like all this to stop Ja is crazy.
Yeah, when the trade went down, like you just knew it was just gonna be like league shattering, bro. Like,
Yeah.
And then all the GMs in the Western Conference just started making crazy trades today.
Yeah.
Because like KD just went to the Suns, like they're obviously like the team to beat, so every team just started scrambling. Like,
The West was kind of open, and that's the thing. Is once that happens, everyone else just, I need to make a step. I need to get better because I got to match up with freaking Kevin Durant and Devin Booker in a series, maybe.
Can't guard that, bro. 2 of the best scorers.
That's
in this league.
insane. Yeah.
Me
That's
personally,
crazy.
I just don't see a way where the Suns like don't make it to the finals. Like Booker and Kevin Durant. Kevin
can't.
Durant is a playoffs
Really?
guy. Like he steps up in the playoffs like
I
no
think the
other
Nuggets,
person.
bro.
The Nuggets, like, bro, they don't have the experience that the Suns do. They just don't, bro. The Jokic, he's really good, but they're like tier of players after that are just not on like the same players as the 2-headed monster of Booker and Kevin Durant.
Yes, and listen, that boy KD is a killer in the playoffs. Like if the series comes down to it late in the series, I see KD taking over, and I don't see the Nuggets being able to keep up with that personally.
You think that I think the Suns, they could be favorites for sure. I think they are the favorites. But you guys don't see a way. You don't think the Nuggets have a chance at all to beat the Suns?
Listen,
No, I think they definitely do because there's always that weird possibility that there's some weird about the combination of Booker and KD.
You trying to tell me that Ayton is guarding Jokic, bro?
Exactly.
I think Aaron Gordon, he can do a fine job playing defense on Kevin Durant. Like, he can try. He's going to
No
try.
one can do a fine job playing defense on Kevin
But
Durant.
no one can guard Jokic, bro.
but he's not gonna listen.
No one is
That's
guarding
true.
Jokic. And the way that the Nuggets are playing, they're playing amazing, bro. They have great shooters on the team. Everyone around them is fitting perfectly. They have great cutters. They're the first seed in the Western Conference for a reason, and no one is even close to competing with them for the first seed. I think you have to see how the Suns play with Kevin Durant. And I don't know. I think the Nuggets have done too much this year for you to not have them as a top contender.
No,
they're not even. You're saying they're not even contending.
That's going to
to
be the Western Conference Finals if
Realistically-
the Grizzlies don't figure it out.
I said that the Nuggets are contending for it, and y'all are.
Yeah.
And
No,
y'all
I
said
agree.
no.
Contention.
I
I
agree
agree.
with you, bro. I'm
Listen,
saying. Look,
That's
you
what
said-
I said,
you
and
talk.
y'all said no.
They're in contention. This is like the only way that the Suns don't make the finals is if like Kevin Durant coming back for his injury and it's like kind of a late trade in the season. Like they don't have enough time to gel. Like that's literally the only way I see it. But Kevin Durant, he has fit seamlessly into every single team he's been a part of. I don't think it's gonna be any different on the Suns.
I think the Nuggets, they are built for the playoffs. Jamal Murray, he is a playoff killer. It's been 3 years. But I think Jamal Murray, he's got that mindset. We've seen it before in the playoffs. He's having a great year. When it's coming to the playoffs, Jamal Murray is getting buckets. They got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They got Bruce Brown. They got Christian Braun. Those are all three guys that are two-way players who they play great defense. They shoot the three ball well. I think I'd have the Suns first, but I think it's going to be very close. I think it could go to 7 for sure.
Yeah. The thing is, like, you're right. The Nuggets are stacked offensively and defensively, which is huge because the Suns, they don't really have a lot of defense. I think that might push them over the edge, but I think just the experience and just the shot creation of Booker and Kevin Durant is just going to put them over the edge.
Okay, well, the Nuggets also have experience. They don't have finals experience, but they've been to the playoffs last year before that, and the year before that. For 3 years in a row, they made it to the playoffs.
The experience on the Suns is just, like, not comparable to the Nuggets. Like, they have CP3, one of, like, the best vet point guards, like, in the league.
How did he play last year in the playoffs?
Bro,
He
He don't got to do as much now, bro. All you got to do is pass the rock now, bro.
He does have to pass the rock now. Yeah, that's
all you got to do, bro. You don't got to score. They have Booker, KD, and Ayton, bro. You don't got to do nothing except pass
but
the
the
ball.
Suns, think about who's going to be guarding the other team's best player on the Suns. Because they gave up Mikal Bridges, who was doing that literally every single night of the entire season.
I don't know how they're playing defense now.
Cam Johnson was one of their best shooters. He came up clutch. Who is guarding in a series the other team's best guard?
Guard? I don't know, Book. CP3?
Exactly.
Then the Suns, they got the Nuggets, they've had the best offense in the league this year.
Exactly.
In the regular season, bro.
In the regular season, you can't just discard the regular season like it's
I'm
nothing.
not discarding
This is the
it,
first
bro.
time the Nuggets
I'm not
have been
discarding
healthy.
it.
They got people in the offseason. I ain't gonna chill, bro. You can't just discard this. You know what I'm saying? They're the first seed, and it's not even close, bro. They just got good players in the offseason. This is the first time they're fully healthy. Every time in the playoffs, they ain't been healthy besides the bubble. They got Aaron Gordon, who's playing at an all-star caliber level this year. Jamal Murray, 20 points a game. I don't know.
Listen.
I think it's close, bro.
I think in the playoffs, the defense is going to collapse around Jokic a little bit more. Like, you're going to see different defensive schemes being thrown at Jokic. And what it's going to come down to the playoffs is, like, your best players making shots for you. And the Suns have two of the best shot creators of all time. I don't know if Booker is on that level. Definitely Kevin Durant. That's what it's going to come down to, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Suns, yeah, I think they're the favorites. I
Okay.
just gotta, the Nuggets, that's my Nuggets, you know what I'm saying?
What?
I gotta give him my flowers, you know what I'm saying?
I thought you said you were a Thunder fan.
I never said that. I'm just
Say that for the camera.
I just want to get this camera.
Clip that.
Hey, clip it.
I've been riding with the Nuggets since the beginning of the year. It's not even a long time. But I've been rocking with them for the beginning.
crazy.
Since
The
the
switch
beginning of the year,
up is
respectfully. No.
As your number one team?
Of course not. Of course not.
You've just
Okay. I thought
been
you were
messing
I've been a
with
fan
them.
with
You've
them.
been messing with them a
I
little
mess
bit.
with them. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna switch up now.
You ain't
now
gonna
that
switch up now
bummy
that they're
Kevin Durant
stacked? Okay.
is now on the Suns. You know what I'm saying? All right,
That is
let's
crazy.
move on.
You salty, bro,
No.
that he left the
I wanna
Thunder.
say one
bro.
more
I can't
thing.
even lie, bro.
I think
Listen.
how is Jokic going to get guarded by Aiden? I'm
not,
looking
bro.
at this right now. Jokic last time he played Aiden had 41, 15 rebounds and 15 assists. For a whole series, he's going to be stopping that?
No.
Yes.
You said they're gonna collapse around Jokic. Aaron
He's
Gordon's
the
cutting
best
the
passer.
basket.
He's
He's
the
the-
best
yeah.
passer, big passer in the league.
No. Okay.
They got shooting. Jokic is surrounded with some of the best shooters in the NBA. Isn't that
Yes.
crazy, bro?
Listen, I think that series
You are-
actually could go to 7.
That is crazy,
No, listen,
bro.
I
We
think
get
the
it.
series
We get it.
actually-
You like the Nuggets, bro. Chill, bro.
Listen, the series actually could go to 7 because, the team that the Suns are, the more that I think about it, is just the team that Jokic is built to beat, bro. Because if they don't have a guy that can guard him offensively, he can just facilitate for the team around him. A team that can shoot or, make a play around the rim. Like Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon both can get a shot up on the perimeter and also take it down low. So it's like Jokic can play whatever role he needs to beat that team later on. But obviously, KD is that guy in the playoffs. They both have people who can be those guys. I think this series could go to 7.
But
will go to
Jokic,
7.
but Jokic isn't the MVP
W
though.
switch up.
He's
W
not.
switch
He's
up.
not the
W
MVP.
switch up.
Embiid is still the MVP. Embiid is still the MVP.
No, you switched up about the Nuggets. You said the Suns, they were the team. Like you said, it wasn't close. You know what I'm saying? That's
I
what
didn't
you
say it
said.
wasn't close. Roll the clip. I said the Suns
You ain't said
are.
nothing about
I
the
said the
Nuggets,
Suns
bro.
are top 2 in the West.
No.
I said the Suns are top 2 in the West.
Liar.
Roll the clip afterwards. I said the Suns are top 2 in the West. I said
think we are, bro?
Listen, I said the Suns are the best team.
No, I said the Nuggets, and y'all said,
Okay, chill. I said the Suns are the best team in the West, if not the second best. They are top 2. It's them and the Nuggets. I don't see any other team competing with them.
The Grizzlies.
But I didn't say that it wasn't close, bruh.
Let's talk
That was
about
this
the
man.
Grizzlies, man. We're right there with these Suns and Nuggets.
Stop playing, bro.
People forget about.
Yeah, y'all gotta worry about Josh spinning the block in the Pacers, bro. Okay,
We
realistically.
all know that wasn't real. That was straight cap. People hate us. Now we're gonna
Y'all
take
didn't
that
make the
villain
move that y'all
role.
needed to at the deadline. So
We got
y'all
a
got Luke
sniper.
Kennard, but y'all aren't competing with the other teams in the West.
We have two
The top
40% 3-point shooters. We have the defensive player of the year. We have the best rebounder in the league, and we have a top 3-point guard.
No one cares, bro.
Top
No one
3?
cares, bro.
Yeah,
yeah,
That's crazy.
I'll give you top 5
Dame clears.
since y'all are Shea and Dame.
well, Shea's a
fans.
shooting guard.
We got Luka.
Point,
That's
slash
true.
point guard.
Luka,
Slash point
Curry.
guard.
Luka,
Dame.
Curry, Ja.
Kyrie better.
Then Dame.
No,
Facts.
Kyrie better than Ja.
Okay, let's have.
Listen, Dame clears Josh.
Let's say Shea's a point guard. You're trying to tell me that Kyrie
No, Kyrie's not a
better
point
than
guard
Shea?
though.
That's actually
Kyrie's
wild.
not a point guard though. Kyrie's
Now
a
he's
shooting
not,
guard.
yeah.
You said
Low-key.
Kyrie?
Yeah.
Huh?
How's he not a
see.
point guard?
He's
Well,
not,
he's not gonna be a point
He's not
guard
a
on the
shooting. He's a
Mavs.
shooting guard. He low-key been a shooting
He's not
guard
even
for the
main
past
ball
few
handler.
seasons.
How has he been a shooting guard?
I don't.
With
Who
Harden.
was the point guard for
Harden was the point guard,
Nets?
but like this season, it's been Kyrie. But like he low-key just a shooting guard. I can't lie, bro.
No, he's not, bro. Are you tripping,
He's the
bro?
point guard.
I can't
What do
tell
you
if
mean?
you're trolling or
Low-key,
not.
that's what he's been playing, bro. I'm not sure. Oh, no, not on the Nets, but like past few seasons collectively.
What do you?
Bro's a shot creator, bro.
I don't think it matters, bro.
It don't matter. I'm just saying that.
Respectfully, Dame clears Josh. Anyways.
I think so.
Yup.
Once y'all get past the 10 seed, maybe we'll talk.
I mean, we haven't even talked about. I mean, we do want to talk about the Nets side of the deal at all, like what they got back and like
I mean, yeah, Mikal
Yeah.
how it
Bridges.
looks for them.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges
Actually
is
did.
talented, and he's like one of the only players to play every single game of his career. He's gonna be there every night. Cam Johnson's got a strap, so I think those two. It's gonna be that's a fun team to watch. Spencer Dinwiddie, Nick Claxton, Mikal Bridges.
Oh, Cam Thomas, man.
Yeah, Cam Thomas has
Oh.
been playing very well.
What do you think the direction of this franchise? Where are they going?
That's the thing that's confusing is because obviously seeing how Cam Thomas is playing, they're getting good players back. Like they're going to be all right. They're not going to be great, but they also just acquired 5 first-round picks in like the last week or so. And so I think that they're setting themselves up great. I think it was a smart move to blow both of them up. I don't know what they're going to try to do this year. I feel like they're just going to be all right because they have good enough players and enough of them to actually win games. But then obviously they're not going to be able to compete with the East in the playoffs.
Yeah, they have one of the brightest futures in the NBA right now. They
Yeah,
have
right
a
behind
lot.
the Thunder and the.
The Nets.
How? They have one of the brightest futures.
One of the more.
You're trying to tell me they're the brighter futures than the Thunder.
Whoa, I'm not
Please
the
don't.
brightest.
Please
That's
don't.
crazy.
No,
but they're up there. They have.
What is their path to contending, bro?
Okay, it's not like next 3-4 years, but like they have Nick Claxton. They have
Literal
They have
Cameron
talent.
Tommy. Like
Can't be Tommy.
Yeah, they have talented young players who could develop into
44, 43,
stars.
47.
We don't know.
That's true.
But they also have draft capital. They don't have that much because the
definitely
Rockets have the
20
rest of it
on
from
3 for
Harden,
16.
but it's like they're in a better spot than they were.
Yeah, the thing is, like, they can't really tank because they traded like most of their first rounders.
Yeah, exactly. So they're gonna
So-
have to try and play, and they could. That's a good way to develop is like actually like trying for.
Yeah, but like
and
you
not
can't
tanking.
win a chip without a superstar player. They're gonna have to go get one eventually.
But they're
Maybe
gonna.
with their-
But they
with
have
their
the.
first.
They have the capital to get.
They
that,
have the
though.
draft
Yeah.
capital now. I don't know if they really have the cap space to just outright
Yeah,
sign one in
that's
free
true.
agency, but they do have the draft capital to go trade for one once one becomes available.
yeah, they're gonna make some moves. I'm pretty sure in like the off season and like before next year's deadline. They're gonna rock it out this year and they're gonna try to get some progression from Cam Thomas, Nick Claxton looking like he top 3 DPOY candidate. Obviously, Jaren's first. But, Mikal Bridges, he's a good player. They got some picks. The Rockets kind of own them for the next, 5 years. Or what is it, 6, 5, something like that. Yeah, I'd be happy if I was a Rockets fan right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Nets, in my opinion, they should have just kept KD, bro, and just seen what it could have looked like this year. Because, bro, had play. He's on contract for this year and 3 more years.
They do have players around him. They're already the 5 seed. Like, they could have stuck around.
Bro, they trade Kyrie for Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, that's a good package. Like, they could have just rocked it out. They have, a blooming Nick Claxton and Cam Thomas that was looking really good. I think they should have just let that, have a chance, bro.
That was the only thing that was confusing is, they traded Kyrie and then saw Cam Thomas put up 40 3 games in a row and didn't even give him and KD a chance to play together. You know what I mean? I feel like they
didn't really have the time to. But
but I think that they got what they needed to out of KD. I don't think they needed to trade him, but I personally think it was the right move just because they got so many picks out of that. If you're gonna send Kyrie away, might as well send KD away too.
Well, I think I saw a report today that KD he was wanting out.
Exactly. That's what Kyrie's saying. He's like, thank God he's finally out of there. I feel like there was some contention between KD and either his teammates or Jacques Vaughn, but I don't think he was as comfortable as people think in Brooklyn, especially when he gets 2 of his close friends and Kyrie and James Harden, and then they both leave. I wouldn't want to stay either, really. I don't really care about the roster at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the roster was good enough for KD to stay and that he would have, stayed just based on, the roster quality. But I think it was the fact that his friend Kyrie Irving was no longer on the team.
Yeah.
And then there was no really any point in him staying.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, want to move on?
Sure. Yeah. So obviously that is all the trades. We also want to talk about who we felt.
I don't think that was all the trades.
All the trades.
All the major trades that we wanted to talk
There's
about.
some more.
There's a few more.
You got 4 more trades?
Yeah.
Dang. Let's do this.
Jumping the gun.
You gotta jump the gun.
Trade, maybe?
Jump the gun, but yeah.
My fault.
We can talk about a couple more. Unless you
No,
don't want to talk
Let's
about
the
Melkam.
Clippers. The Clippers had a few trades.
Let's talk about a couple more.
Let's talk about the Clippers.
All right, the first Clippers trade, the Clippers are getting Bones Highland, and they gave up 2 second-round picks to the Nuggets. First off, I think the Clippers, them doing this deal, it was they gave up Reggie Jackson and John Wall, so they're kind of in need for a point guard. I still think Bones Highland's going to come off the bench, and Terrence Mann, he's going to be starting at the point guard. He's been starting at the point guard for a little bit now, and he's been playing pretty good. I think Bones Highland, he's a little bit of a spark plug. Him and Norman Powell, they're definitely going to get buckets on the bench, for sure. I like this trade for the Clippers. They only gave up 2 second-round picks. And I don't know. I don't think Bones Highland, he's a guy that you can play in the playoffs, though. He's going to get...
You don't think you can play in the playoffs?
Nah, he's going to get cooked.
Yeah.
Low key. But you a bucket, though.
He a bucket averaging 12 points a game. Not a lot of minutes. Not great. Is he doing good efficiency this year?
It's okay. He's young, bro.
Yeah, he's young. If you're looking for the future, the Nuggets are contending right now, and he wasn't very happy with his role. Good trade for the Nuggets. Good trade for the Clippers. I think it's a win-win trade. Maybe the Nuggets could have got it first, but
Yeah.
But
I feel like they could have got a protected first from Bones somewhere.
Well, I think they would have took it if someone offered him that. So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That is how it works.
Well,
yeah, I like it. I like it for the Clippers.
yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about the other trade that they did?
they have 2 other trades.
Yeah.
The other small one was Hornets getting Reggie Jackson, the Clippers getting Mason Plumlee. What do y'all think about that one?
Mason Plumlee's an underrated player.
He's been having a good year this year.
I think that'll be nice. Yeah, Clippers get a little bit more depth. He's not going to play insane minutes, but he may have a weird shot, but he does the dirty work. He gets boards, and
I think
he's positive.
Yeah, he's a nice vet, and they can just
Exactly.
see what he looks like. Like Reggie Jackson. That's who they traded away, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't really looking the best this season, so I think just a fresh look at see what Plumlee can give you. He's experienced. I don't think he has much playoff experience, but he has experience, and they can try and see what it looks like.
Yeah. I think Mason Plumlee, I don't know how why the Hornets do this. Maybe was Mason Plumlee on a good contract or something like that? Because he was playing better than Reggie Jackson.
Bro, I don't know. It's the Hornets. They just make bad trades.
They're just
that's
trying to lose,
expected.
you know what I'm saying?
They're trying to tank. Michael Jordan, he probably makes all the trades himself. I don't know.
Yeah, I like to trade for the Clippers. I think he's gonna be off the bench behind Zubac because he's been a good part for the Clippers, but I like it for sure. They're trying to contend. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but now they're getting in the next trade Eric Gordon and 3 second-round picks. Rockets getting Danny Green, John Wall, first-round pick swap, and the Grizzlies getting Luke Kennard. Moussa, what do you think? Grizzlies getting Luke Kennard.
As much as I wanted like Mikal Bridges or OG, this is exactly what we needed. A shooter off the bench. He's over the last 2 seasons, in the last 2 minutes, he's 8 for 8 from 3. So he can come in, hit a 3. I really hope if Dylan keeps playing like this, he gets pushed out of the rotation for Luke. Because
out of the rotation?
Bro.
Like
not out of the starting
completely
lineup.
out of the rotation?
Out of the whole rotation.
I was with you for a second. You're backtracking now?
Well, yeah, because he's one of the better defenders in the league. But I feel like you got to have Dylan when the other team's best player's on the floor. But as soon as he's off the floor, get Dylan out of there because this dude's just a certified shot chucker. I love Dylan Brooks with all my heart. That is my guy.
That's why you're a Grizzlies fan.
That's literally why I'm a Grizzlies fan, but he is just playing at one of the worst seasons of all time, actually. And Luke Kennard is one of the better three-point shooters in the league. Mm-hmm. Him and Bane, that's going to be so nice. And Luke Kennard's never really played with, like, a crazy playmaker in his career. And to have Ja, that's going to be so nice to have a piece.
Yeah, I don't think he is playing with a crazy playmaker now, but maybe a good playmaker for sure, He's playing with a good playmaker, for sure.
Definitely one of the playmakers.
You're definitely playing with a playmaker.
He is a playmaker. He has made plays before. I'd say.
Multiple assists a game.
All right. All right, you think what do you think the Grizzlies, like, their rotation in the playoffs is going to be? Do you think it's going to be, like, off the bench, like Tyus, and then Luke Kennard and Brandon Clark? I mean, who else would you have playing with them?
I think, Tyus, and then Brandon Clark, Luke Kennard, Santi Aldama.
Oh, yeah.
And then
he's a good player.
That would be a good 4. I don't know if we have Xavier Tillman in there. He's actually... I hated him at the start of the season. With Steven Adams out, he's been playing phenomenal. He's been getting 10 board nights. I've loved what I've seen from him, but I don't know if he's a playoff piece. Even though against the Warriors in the play-in a few years back, he did play real well, hit some big threes. He can step out and hit those. Our rotation, I think it looks pretty nice with Luke Kennard. He's exactly what we needed because John Conchar.
I mean, you're kind of hoping that Conchar would be a shooter. And then
he was, and then he just stopped. And then I was hoping Danny Green, and I watched him play like 2 games, and this dude is just not fit at all to play basketball. Scored 9 points for us total, so Grizzlies legend Danny Green. But
do you think Steven Adams he's gonna get played out again? So maybe you start. Could Brandon Clark start over him? I mean, you saw the playoffs last year.
That's what we did with the Timberwolves.
Got played out last year, so I mean, like, could that happen again? You think?
I think if that happens again, we'll be better fit because I feel like Jaren's defensive role, and he could maybe play the 5. We played that a few times, and I think right now is the perfect time to commit to that with Steven Adams out and try it. So if that does happen in the playoffs, we can be ready. But a lineup of Dylan Brooks at the 4 wouldn't even be the worst thing if we're playing like a smaller team and have Ja, Bane, Kennard, Brooks, Jaren. That would be a scary, very well-shooting team, and that could make some noise.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I just don't know how defensively a lineup with Ja Morant, Bane, and Kennard is going to look.
I don't think they're going to be playing all at the same time.
I know, but, like, they traded for Kennard. You want to have him on the floor as much as possible. He's one of, like, the best, like, volume three-point shooters in the league.
Yeah.
I just don't know how the fit is going to look like defensively, Like, obviously, if they have those 2 guys on this court at the same time, like, offensively, they're going to be insane. It's going to open up lanes for Ja to attack that spacing. Like, Ja hasn't had that spacing before.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies have been, like, one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league so far. And adding Kennard, like, just having that tool is just going to boost the Grizzlies' like offensive ceiling.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Bane and Luke Kennard aren't on the floor together like very much at all, just to have that knockdown shooter other than when Bane's off the floor. Because Bane's been dealing with that toe injury, so his minutes are still like not what they should be. So having Luke Kennard off the bench will just clear off that time where we put our starters in, we play well, and then we take out like Bane or starters, and then John Conchar just breaks like 3 threes in a row and then turns the ball over. So it's going to be nice to have Luke Kennard. I really like this trade. Yeah. And Danny Green wasn't doing anything, so it doesn't really mean anything to trade him. So.
Yeah, the Rockets, they get a first-round pick swap with the Clippers. I mean, I think that's all they're looking for. They got the pick. And then for the Clippers, they're getting Eric Gordon. I'm not sure exactly what they're wanting to do with this. I think Luke Kennard's a better player than Eric Gordon. I mean, Luke Kennard, he's very efficient, led the league in three-point percentage last year. Eric Gordon, he's kind of getting older in age. I don't know if he can still do the things he was doing a few years ago, so I don't know. Yeah. And then our last final trade, we got the Bucks getting Jae Crowder. Nets get 2 second-round picks, and the Pacers get George Hill, Serge Ibaka, and 3 second-round picks. I mean, Connor, what do you think about this with the Bucks getting Jae Crowder?
I like the addition. We haven't really seen him play basketball in a long time, but Jae Crowder in the past 3 seasons, he's been to 2 finals, and the other season he was on a team that had 60-some wins, 67 wins or something. I think that piece in Jae Crowder is going to be huge for the Bucks, especially in the playoffs, if he can get back to his old form. Again, we haven't seen him play basketball, but he's one of you want him as a 3-and-D wing. They're hard to find as 3-and-D wing. He's a good role player, as you said. I think that is a good piece to have in the Bucks, especially come playoffs time.
Yeah, the Bucks have a lot of 3-and-D type players like Pat Connaughton, Grayson Allen. I mean, Jae Crowder, he kind of plays the 4, and I think it kind of fits what they like and what they've been doing. So I think it's a good deal. Not giving up much at all, so why not?
Yeah, I think it just solidifies one of the top teams in the East. Them, the Celtics, and the Sixers, I still have kind of the same tier. Maybe Sixers a little bit lower than the other two.
Way. Sixers are definitely in that tier.
You think the same?
No doubt.
Same, yeah.
No doubt.
But I think they're a little bit lower than the other two, no? You think you have Sixers over either the Celtics or the Bucks?
I think it's Celtics, Sixers, Bucks.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
They got the best player in the world, bro.
Wow, bro.
Yeah. Chris Middleton has had one of the biggest fall-offs of all time.
Bro, you cannot put the Sixers over the Bucks, bro. You can't.
Why not?
You can't.
Because they got Chip.
They got Chip.
And Giannis.
Yeah.
I mean, Drew Holiday, bro.
We talked about him last
I talked about him a little last podcast.
Facts.
They got Giannis, bro. He's the best player in the entire world, bro. And Joel Embiid,
but it's Harden is playing at just an incredible rate right now. Maxey, they have all these pieces, and they still have the MVP too.
Facts. I agree with that one. He's the MVP. Giannis still a better player overall, though. Giannis is
he's
in the
playoffs. In the playoffs, yeah.
You've seen him do it in the finals. You've seen Drew Holiday do it in the finals. You've seen this whole team do it in the finals, and you add Jae Crowder, who also has been there before. It's just another piece. All of that team has been there before and done it before. And you have the player who has put up one of the most impressive finals performances ever. I think that they're just going to be able to get it done in the playoffs.
Hey, in 10 games last year in the playoffs, Moussa, how many points did Joel Embiid average?
Ooh. 24 or something? 27?
23.
Yeah.
Wow.
23, bro.
That's not my MVP.
That's the playoffs last year,
be
bro.
playing like that.
Not my
Giannis
MVP.
is clamping
Who was he
him
playing with?
respectfully. Who's he playing with?
Ben
He
Simmons?
playing no, last year. We talking last year. You know
okay,
what I'm
well,
saying?
before that, Ben Simmons, last year, it's
Hey,
he's taking all the load.
was Harden playing in
What
the
low?
playoffs?
You put up 23, bro.
Yeah, with all of it, the attention on him. That's what I'm saying is the attention's on him. But now he has
Bro,
Harden.
the
He has
attention is
Maxey.
still on him, bro.
Not with Harden. Actually, Harden can't drop 30 any night.
You have a point.
And he's taking all the
23
attention.
crazy.
Hey, Harden was playing.
That's
He
different.
played more games than Joel Embiid last year in the playoffs. So
I mean,
I don't
yeah,
know.
but he wasn't playing at the rate it is now.
look,
Talk your
Sixers
talk.
they don't.
And MB took a step offensively.
They got some good star players. They got some good star players. You trying to tell me they gonna win games with PJ Tucker playing at the 4, who provides nothing at the 4? He is some cheeks,
Nothing?
bro. No, he is awful, bro.
That is cattle,
Yeah.
bro.
No. He's awful. I'm not gonna lie. He's
offensively,
awful.
You're a cross-country merchant. I can't lie, bro.
Okay, offensively, yes, nothing. You can't tell me he's not doing great job on great players.
Oh, he's all right.
Defensively.
He's a player in this
What do
league.
you? Okay, you have not been watching him play.
But he
defense.
literally is gonna pull up the Basketball Reference index right now on how good he is.
I'm not pulling up anything.
PJ Tucker is literally an
know.
old washed man. I'm
I
not
don't need
gonna
to pull
lie,
up a
bro.
stat when I watch him hustle
Bro,
every
he's
night
old.
and give.
Yeah, he's hustling.
You
Bigger
watch him
players
run back
bigger
and down the court, bruh. He a glorified Tony Snell.
This is crazy. Y'all actually don't watch him hustle
Now
and
he is.
give other players.
Bro averages
best players.
3 points a game, bro.
I'm not talking about
nothing
offense.
else,
I'm
bro.
talking about defense.
Bro, he just Matisse Thybulle, just older and slower.
He's bigger.
Okay.
Okay, y'all have
Bro,
not been watching
you a
the Sixers.
fanboy, bro.
I'm not a fanboy. I just have watched PJ Tucker give other players fits on the defensive end. And
He might give
has
some
an
bums
impact.
like
Alright, look,
on
bro.
the Grizzlies some fits,
Brook
but
Lopez,
he don't
he
give
can
actual
defend
players
on
fits,
Grizzlies
bro.
fits.
You trying? I don't know how they're gonna be a team of Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez.
And Jae Crowder.
Jae Crowder.
Crowder, know what I'm
bro.
saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like they are
Obviously, it is like a
squad,
razor
bro.
thin, but I feel like my gut is just telling me Sixers and just
Your
what I've
gut?
seen from them.
Come on,
When
Gabe.
I'm watching them,
Wow,
they
your
look like a
gut
better team.
sucks.
Wow, we'll see. We will see. We'll come back to this moment when the Sixers are deeper in the playoffs than the Bucks.
Come on, bro.
Hey,
this is
we'll
you,
bring
bro.
back
The
this
Sixers,
moment
the Sixers
when the
would have to
Bucks.
shoot the lights out to beat the Bucks. I'm
They
not gonna lie.
gentlemen
They would have to
sweep
shoot
the
the lights
Sixers.
out, bro. What else are they gonna do to
Remember
be able to
this
get things
moment.
going offensively outside of Embiid?
Giannis
other than
is
shoot?
Everyone
cooking.
will
They're gonna
remember
take
this
the ball to the
moment, bro.
rim.
Harden?
Okay, yeah, he would have to shoot well. They would all have to play well at the perimeter, bruh. They would all have to play well, like at their absolute peak on the perimeter to be able to beat the Bucks in the playoffs. If the Bucks are also at their full capacity, because if the Bucks are shooting well, then what are they gonna do? They're gonna bring the ball to the paint. Like obviously, Joel
You're
Embiid can
literally
score.
just saying, oh, the team that shoots well is going to win.
Hey, Moussa.
No, bruh. I'm saying
What?
they would have to.
Who guarded
shoot well to be
Giannis,
able to
bro?
win.
Who guarding Giannis?
PJ Tucker.
Yeah, PJ Tucker.
Remember when
All right, the playoffs
the
is about
Sixers-
matchups.
No, listen to me.
All right, look, go.
The Sixers were so desperate to stop this dude Giannis. They gave Al Horford one of the worst contracts in NBA history just because they thought he had a chance of stopping Giannis in the playoffs.
Now, Al
bro.
Horford, he a good playoff.
He is
player,
good.
Bro. He's a good playoff defender.
Yeah.
Underrated, bro.
He wasn't worth that contract, but the Sixers were that desperate because they couldn't do nothing about it, and they still can't do nothing. They just hoping that someone else knocks the Bucks out before they have to play them, bro. It ain't gonna happen.
This is crazy.
Giannis is built for the playoffs, bro.
Yeah,
He
built.
is
Yeah,
literally.
honestly, but-
He's getting buckets, bro. He's getting buckets, bro. All right, bro.
We have
Let's
not-
stop this silly conversation, bro.
We have not seen
this
them
is silly.
head-to-head.
This is silly. This is actually crazy how the Sixers choked
Come
every
back.
We
playoff
haven't- we
series,
haven't
and
seen
then the
them
Bucks really have a
head-to-head.
chip. They have a championship. And Drew Holiday, bro. Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton wasn't even healthy last year.
Yeah, he didn't
And they
even
still
play,
got-
bruh.
Seen him healthy
Ain't that something?
today.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's getting back, bro.
Yes.
He's getting back, bro.
He's getting back.
Yes, bro.
He's getting back.
Listen, from the Grizzlies' perspective,
What does the Grizzlies have to do with
no,
the East?
listen,
Am I tweaking?
listen, let me say something. Hold
Hold
on,
up,
bro.
that's crazy.
Let me say
Chris
something.
Middleton averaging 13.
If a player
Yeah,
isn't
13.
if a player isn't
What?
fully
Who-
back,
no one on the Sixers is doing
if a player
any
isn't fully
scoring, bro,
back after
besides
2
three
games,
players.
they just ship him away, bro. That's the mindset Moussa has, bro. They
Of
shipped away
what?
Danny Green after 2 games, bro. They didn't even let him play. Like that's what they're saying. Like Chris
Okay.
Middleton ain't fully healthy. He just
This
he ain't
is
like that.
crazy
That's what
meat
Moussa said.
writing.
That's
I
what-
can't lie. To bring the Grizzlies into a conversation about the Eastern.
I thought I'm just trying to say. I'm just
That
trying to
made no
assume.
sense.
I'm
trying
just
to
trying to
relate to
assume
why you're
where your
delusional.
insanity is coming from.
What do you mean delusional,
That's
bro?
just-
They have
I'm
the
trying
best
to, like-
scorer in the league.
You have to be getting from somewhere. I'm
Facts.
just trying to reason.
And if Big Three is
I
healthy,
don't know.
$10 bet.
What? If they meet each other?
$10,
Yeah.
bro. Come on, bro.
$10. I already have 10 with him. That the Sixers are getting past the Celtics.
Wait, what? You said the Sixers are beating the Celtics?
Like they'll make it farther than the Celtics.
Okay, I like that.
Dang, you're really
I-
nervous,
hey,
boy.
I low-key
You're
forgot
really
about that bet.
nervous,
I
bro.
low-key forgot about that bet.
You're
but
really
that's
that
low.
nervous.
That's
Shaking
low.
my whole
That's low.
hand right now,
Put a
bro.
house on it, though.
My house on it?
Yeah, your house versus my house.
This house?
Nah,
Yeah, I
we
got
ain't
you.
got to. Hey, what? Right?
Freak. No, Scott.
Yeah.
Shout out Scott Spiegel.
Switch rooms.
That is crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. Giving out government
Right.
information is low-key wild.
That is
Shout
crazy.
out Noah.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
yeah, I ain't editing this out, bro. Like, it kind of just stuck there.
Oh, well.
All right, Mr. You're
Let's talk
delusional.
basketball.
Let's move on.
All right, buddy.
All
We'll
right.
see.
Hey, clip that.
All right. Yeah, that's all the trades.
Yeah. Well, we went through all the trades, and I think that one thing that we also want to go over is who we felt won at the trade deadline and who we felt lost. Caleb, Who do you think was the biggest loser or missed out the most during the trade deadline?
Dang, I don't know, bro. All right. All right. I'd say it's the Nets. Like, if Kyrie and KD didn't want out, obviously it'd be the Nets. But like, they had to play their hand. I say the Nets. They did pretty good. But for losers, I mean, I don't know. I think some teams could have done more. I think the Raptors went in the wrong direction. I think they were definitely. I'd say they're the biggest loser. Maybe the Timberwolves is just a small move. I think the Raptors going in the opposite direction that we all thought they would go in and then would probably be the better decision would make them the losers in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the Raptors just because I felt that they needed to go the opposite direction because of how stacked the East was, and then they just made a small move in the direction of trying to progress, and that doesn't make them compete with any of the teams in the East. But
yeah, I think the Heat, they're sitting at that 6th seed, and if they want to compete with the Celtics, Sixers, Bucks, and Nets, well, not really Nets anymore, but those top 3, they needed to make at least a move, maybe even get like a shooter or a backup big, but they literally did nothing. And so I think it's gonna make it hard for them to make it deep in the East if they're just gonna sit here and expect their current lineup to thrive in the playoffs.
Which team you say?
The Heat.
The Heat.
They did nothing.
They were rumored to like make some trades.
Exactly.
I don't understand how they didn't make a single trade. Like they were like close. I said they were like one piece away from being a contender.
Yeah.
And they did not do anything.
Okay, there's a rumor that their GM was asleep during the deadline. Could be cap, but that would be one of the funniest mess ups of all time. But
yeah, I say my loser.
Bulls.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bulls, but like they weren't even a part of the trade deadline.
they're already like losers.
Yeah,
so
they
it's
already
like,
suck at literally
What are they
everything.
gonna
Nothing
do?
changed at the
Yeah.
deadline, so they didn't really lose. They're not losers of the deadline. They're just like losers of the season, like in general.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd say at the
Something
deadline,
like that.
but I would say personally, it's the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
I would say it's the Timberwolves. The pure trade of giving up D'Angelo Russell for Mike Conley in like a second don't mean nothing. Mike Conley, come on, bro. Like I don't understand that. Like Anthony Edwards, free this dude, bro. And Cat. They traveled with Gobert in Minnesota.
Cat's a bum.
What
though,
is
so-
that? Yeah,
Cat's a bum.
yeah, he is a bum. He got a squeaky voice just like Moussa, but
That's crazy. I can't lie. That's crazy. That's crazy. What's your squeaky voice? I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey,
Yeah,
shout
I'll
out
be-
y'all that's still watching this.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
y'all
shout out
still
to
here.
whoever
Y'all
the
seeing
5
this?
people that are still
This
seeing
is
this.
unfiltered, buzz.
This elite hating right now. Shout out Connor Regan,
Just
the
going on the page.
MVP
Oh,
of
with the
hating.
government information, bro. You're just going crazy
Bro.
today.
It's on your Instagram.
No, it's not.
All right, I'm gonna go follow Connor Regan 0 on Instagram right now. If
Yeah,
you want,
everyone
if you
go,
want to follow,
everyone
a real
go add
hater,
Moussa hee on Xbox also.
Yeah, go add me on Xbox if you want to play nothing. Yeah, actually.
No, that was tough. That was
I
tough.
don't really-
that was hard, bro.
Okay, guys.
This ain't even about
Personally,
basketball. This is
originally,
wild. This is
I
personal
thought that
heat,
the
bro.
loser of the trade deadline was going to be the Lakers just because they missed out on the whole Kyrie debacle and it felt like they're going to make them move. But then obviously after we saw the trade that they pulled off today, I wouldn't say they lose anymore. But I think they were like a sleeper to be the losers of the trade deadline if they didn't make that move to get D'Angelo Russell and Jared Vanderbilt. But if they did nothing, I would call the Lakers the losers just because LeBron wanted them to do something, and it looked like they were about to get nothing out of their trade deadline. I mean, they lost Kyrie, but yeah, I think they still ended up doing pretty well at the trade deadline. They were sleepers to be losers, though.
We go on our winners.
Yup.
All right, I'd say it's between the Mavericks, Mavericks, Suns, and the Lakers
Yeah.
for sure. I think I don't know. I have Mavericks third, Lakers second, and then Suns first. I think the Suns just going to get KD, going from bottom playoff team, and now they're just favorites in the West. I don't think there's anything that like could top that. If you're going from a bottom team to the favorite in the West, I don't know what team is you would say that is beating that.
Yeah. I'd say my winner for me is the Lakers. Like, they didn't really need another superstar. Like, having Kyrie would have been really nice for them. But I think what the players they got, and Malik Beasley, D'Lo, and Jared Vanderbilt, could be just as impactful, if not more impactful, than getting Kyrie. Like, the pieces like around LeBron and AD, like they didn't need another superstar, just more solid role players because they were giving terrible guys minutes. I've said this, I think both of the podcasts that we've had so far this season. Now that they have good guys getting minutes, taking the load off of LeBron and AD, like LeBron, he has the most experience in the playoffs in like league history. Bro went to like back like finals in a row, however many that was, lost count. And Anthony Davis, like they can get to shine based on these role players. Not even role players. D'Lo, he a bucket too. Like coming over to the Lakers, he's been on Lakers before. I think Lakers, and they got to hold on to one of their first. It moves them from one of the worst teams in the West to now they have a chance like to make something happen in the playoffs.
Yeah, they can make something happen. I mean, I say it's too early to say what they can do because they've been bad for so long. But yeah, think about it more. I think the Lakers, they won in terms of for what they gave up, the value they got in return. Because, like, they didn't give up much. They gave up, like, a pick in Russell Westbrook for D'Lo, Jared Vanderbilt, and Malik Beasley. So for that value, I'd say they won. But I think just as a team and how much a team improved, the Suns improved the most out of any team.
I don't know.
They give up
Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. Bro.
Yeah.
For Kevin Durant, bro.
Chill, bro.
For a top 5 player in this
Lakers
league, bro.
had no future at all, bro. They weren't even going to make the playoffs. And now they could actually, like, win a series or two or get lucky. They have the ceiling with LeBron and Anthony Davis to go all the way, in my opinion. Now that the defense of the other team can't just focus on the two guys. Obviously, they're going to focus on them, but they still have to account for some of the other guys that they just got and some of them that have already been on the team.
Yeah, I respect that for sure. I'm not going to argue that. I think the Lakers, they for sure got a great deal. I think the Suns got it. I think they improved the most.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Lakers definitely got the best return for what they gave out, and they just took two different kind of jumps because the Lakers took a jump from being one of the worst teams in the West to actually being a decent, good playoff team, and then the Suns they were already going to be a playoff team just because they were like a lower seed, but that's because Book hasn't been playing. But they took that jump to being contender, and I just value that jump more personally because I view the trade deadline as a place where you kind of decide the direction that you're going as a franchise. And obviously the Lakers didn't really have a direction, and now they actually have one. But the Suns, they sent their trajectory actually to contend. Like, I see the trade deadline as either you're going to blow it up and worry about the future, or you're going to contend now. And the Suns are actually contenders now. So personally, I would say the Suns, I would say they're the biggest winner of the trade deadline.
Yeah, it's hard to tell just because you're right. It's two completely different jumps. And the Suns, they've been in that contention spot for a few years now. And only this year, because of Devin Booker's injuries, have they been down in the 6th seed. But I really think it's the Lakers just making that jump from third worst team in the West to possibly getting in. They have a lot of ground to make up in the West, but they have a lot of time. But just making that jump from bottom team, maybe even talking about lottery picks with the Lakers was crazy to think about with LeBron, but they can make a playoff run. They have the talent, and they got the pieces for like dirt cheap. The value there is just incredible. I think that's what makes them the winner if there were to be one of the deadline. Yeah,
It could go either way, to be honest.
Yeah, obviously two different scenarios, but
yeah. Sleepers the Blazers, though.
What do you mean sleeper? Like
For who
to
could
do
have
what?
won? Like,
To do what?
That was a good joke.
Wait, for a
Listen.
winner?
winner of the trade deadline. Listen, one team, sure, they got
Bro,
Kevin Durant.
I am right here, bro. You don't have to yell,
Gosh,
bro.
one team, yeah, they got Kevin Durant. But one team got Matisse Thybulle and Cam Reddish and a protected first, bro. Listen, that sets us up so well, bro.
Dang, what are y'all doing? Respectfully.
who are y'all better than?
We're
Who?
the Grizzlies.
I wish you'd say the Grizzlies. There's a whole 8-seed gap right there that y'all will never make up, actually.
A pre-Matisse Thybulle 8-seed gap, buddy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
All right.
Just be on the lookout.
What else does he do other than make vlogs? Let's be honest. That's about it.
All right, before we end this podcast, I want to give one final shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
That is crazy.
Oh, you know. All right, bro.
Crazy, bro.
We gave up Mike Muscala and Darius Baisley. We got like 3 second-round picks. I think we got
Couple hundred.
a whole lot of them.
Okay, nice.
We got a whole lot of them.
Y'all just getting them just to have them, bro.
I think
They ain't gonna turn out for nothing.
Yeah, I think Mike Muscala, he didn't fit the timeline. Darius Baisley, he was going to get traded. He wasn't playing well. So the value you got for Darius Baisley and Mike Muscala, I think it was great for what we could do. And obviously, we're trying to get Jalen Williams, out of Arkansas. We're trying to give him more minutes. You know what I'm saying? And then we're trying to get Pokey more minutes. We're trying to get JRE more minutes. We're trying to get Chet in the rotation next year. So I think we're not really going to have much minutes from Muscala. And now that we got him out for just 2 second-rounders.
Yeah, now y'all can just tank for Victor.
I mean, hey, I wouldn't be mad if we got Victor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think anyone would, but
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
It's going to be the Rockets, probably. Yeah. All right. That wraps up our third podcast. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go check out all of our socials in the bottom of the description. Go follow our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We'll be posting clips from this podcast. And we have clips from previous podcasts up on the channels right now. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.